calorie counting, should you do it? Oh, I'm tired today. Today is my rest day, but rest does not mean that you can't get up and do something. Hello everyone, welcome. What is going on? I hope you're having a good day. Today is another calorie counting video. I made another one a few months back now, I believe it was, to do with airsoft and being able to not being able to track nearly pretty much everything you do. And I do agree with that. You can't track a lot of calories outside the gym, even if you're using watches and Fitbits and all sorts of bits and bobs like that. Like, it doesn't take everything into account. They do have their positives and negatives. They are not 100% accurate. So today is, should you be counting your calories fundamentally? And yes is the answer to that. I think everybody should count calories, whether they are seasoned professionals or just getting started. And more specifically, if you're just getting started, it's so important to be able to know what a tablespoon of peanut butter looks like versus however much peanut butter you put on your toast in the morning. Okay, now counting calories has a lot of benefits as well. What I do urge you to be cautious of is not to get hyper fixed on eating the exact same amount of calories every single day, because you do not need the exact same amount of calories every single day. Every day is different. You do different things every day. You'll walk further one day and you'll do different things like that. Okay, so if you're just going for maintenance and you just want to find out roughly how many calories you burn in a given week, then definitely go ahead, count your calories. And if you have never done it before, just start out by adding up everything that you eat in a day for a week, just to see actually how many calories you do eat, and then weigh yourself week to week. Do this for a month. You know, don't worry about how many calories you're eating. Just jump on the apps. MyFitnessPal is probably the best one, just to see how many calories you're eating versus what your weight is doing. Okay, you want to find out your maintenance calories first and foremost. Okay, before you start going on any adding in or reducing any calories. Okay, that's the most important part. Finding out, each individual person will be different, but finding out your personal maintenance level. For me, it is around 2,600 calories a day, provided that I get my 10,000 steps in, I get my workout in, and I'm not just sat at home doing nothing. Okay, now it is quite a lot of food, which I'm extremely thankful for. That is my current calories now. If you go back 4 or 5 months ago, when I was at the pub and I was running around 20,000-30,000 steps a day, then it was a lot higher. I was up at like 5,000-6,000 quite easily every single day. Now, the importance of counting your calories is, like I said, finding out what things look like. Okay, you will see a lot of people out on YouTube, and you'll see a lot of people who do these things and have done it for such a long time, be able to just eye out things, and they will get it pretty close to the mark pretty much every single time, because they've been doing it for such a long period of time. Okay, now when we come in to talk about weight loss, counting calories is even more important, because you want to be once you find out your maintenance level, you want to drop your calories off about a 300 to 500 calorie range every single day, and then hit that target every single day. That is extremely important, okay? Because you don't want to drop your calories too quickly, too early, and you don't want to lose too much weight too quickly. Everybody gets hyper fixed on losing as much weight as they physically can in such a short space of time, when that is not the way to go, because your body will not react the way you want it to. You'll find yourself extremely hungry all the time, and you will most likely lose muscle mass. And fundamentally, we want to preserve muscle mass when we're in a calorie deficit. Okay, going into a calorie deficit for a long period of time is, again, can be extremely challenging for the individual. Depends how determined you are, depends how much willpower you have, it depends how much you want to reduce your life. It also depends on what you want out of life in general. I have lots of friends and family who go out multiple times a week. They'll eat whatever they want, they don't really think about it, and then they'll get annoyed at the amount of weight they're gaining. And that is very simply because they have no idea how many calories are in food, no idea how many calories in drinks. We're talking like juices, orange juice, apple juice, coffees. If you go to Starbucks and get, nice big iced latte, things like that. People don't think that drinks count as calories, but they do, or count as food. Sorry. And they do in my book. I think anything that consumes calories is a food, and therefore has calories, and therefore might put you over your calorie limit for the day. When we talk about weight loss, when you talk about weight gain, muscle gain, everybody goes on cuts and bulks, and that is something that I don't necessarily agree with. Bulking up loads to gain loads of muscle and then losing loads of weight, I've never really seen the point in that. Don't get me wrong, I have done it when I was a novice at all of this. I thought that you have to eat big to get big, and that is not necessarily the truth. Eating at a maintenance level will still enable you to build the muscle that you need to build while staying extremely lean. And that is the way that I go with my personal diet. It's the way that I advise all my clients, because I think it's the best way overall for weight maintenance throughout your life. Now, this isn't to say that you can't go over your calories one day if you want to go out for a cheat meal and different bits and bobs. Again, I've spoken about cheat meals before. I don't agree with the term cheat meal, but it is an off-plan meal that you are going to eat in that day. And there's so many different ways you can counteract the calorie surplus in that meal. Again, I've spoken about that in the past. But realistically, you want to be able to enjoy your life. Everybody does. I do. I mean, as you've probably seen in the past, I've had multiple different bits and bobs on the floor, like pizza boxes and different things like that, because I want to enjoy my life. I want to be able to go out and drink with my friends and go out and party and go out for nice meals with everyone, and I don't really think about that when I'm doing it. I'll plan for it through the day, I'll plan for it through the week, and then I'll go out, I'll enjoy myself on that meal, and then, straight back to the routine. I'm a very routine person. I like the routine. I like eating the same meals every single day, because for me, it does good things for my body, making sure I get in a portion of fruit and veg with every single meal, making sure I hit my 5 portions of fruit and veg every single day. And I want to eat 4 or 5 times a day without a shadow of a doubt. Again, spacing my protein out very equally every 3 to 4 hours, and making sure that you are achieving your goals. Because even on a rest day like this, for me, I'm still spacing my protein out 3 or 4 hours apart. But I've just taken a big drop in calories because I'm not doing anything. I think I'll hit all of about 4,000 or 5,000 steps today. I've got no workout, and I'm not doing anything apart from sat on my laptop editing and filming and doing different bits and bobs like that. So in those kinds of terms, I know that I don't need to eat 2,600 calories. I'm going to drop it down to around 2,000 calories to account for my weight training and account for the loss of steps. Now, satiation in that is very different to a normal day. I will make sure that I pile on the vegetables because they are the lowest calorie food option that you can get. Make sure I have a variety of colors, and then the meals are absolutely enormous, but they are really low calorie. So once you have a basic understanding of calories, what they look like, and how many you need to be eating a day, then you can move on to different things like intuitive eating. This is something that I have done for a long period of time. I do think it's extremely advantageous in terms of mental side effects. When you count your calories for such a long period of time, some people, I did, get very hyper fixed on numbers and macros and macronutrient like densities and micronutrients and all of that. And fundamentally, provided you're getting, like I said, five portions of fruit and veg in every single day, you're having a variety of colors in all of those, then you don't need to worry about them too much. And when you know a high calorie meal from a low calorie meal, then again, you don't need to worry so much about going onto the app every single day, scanning every single thing you eat, and really, really worrying about that. Okay, so intuitive eating is something that I have done for a long period of time. I do think it's extremely easy to do once you have a basic understanding of calories, what they look like, and micronutrients and how important they are for the body. Okay, now intuitive eating can be hard for a lot of people, especially with eating disorders and different bits and bobs like that. Now, I have struggled with intuitive eating because intuitive eating is simply listening to your body and finding out when you are hungry. Now, you have to be able to know the difference between when you are hungry and when you want to eat. They are two very, very, very different things. I want to eat 24/7. If I could sit over on my bed, watch films all day, and I'd have a big pile of food, it would just disappear. Okay, being very in tune with your body and finding out what you need when you need it is, again, something that I've been taught through my personal trainer course, and I've been taught through just plain old experience. Okay, in the mornings when you're doing things, you want to keep your carbs very high, and in the night you want to keep your fat very high and your carbs very low to prolong satiation overnight and stop you spiking your insulin and wanting more carbs, more sugar, more calorie dense foods, because that's mainly when most of our willpower goes out the window, is at nighttime when we're in bed with our wives, with our girlfriends, with our husbands, whatever it is. You're there with the kids and they've got their chocolate or their sweets or their snacks or whatever, and if you've just gone and walloped a great big plate of salmon and veggies, you're going to be so full that you won't want those high calorie snack options. Okay, and I think that is extremely important to know. Now, again, with the intuitive eating side of things, you need to make sure that you are making your food as lower calorie but as higher volume as physically possible. Okay, now what I mean by this is an enormous amount of food for extremely low calories. So my vegetable meal and chicken or whatever it is that you choose to eat, for me today I have had a nice big egg white omelette with just 2 bits of bread, and then I had 2 great big chicken wraps, and then I'm going to have chicken and vegetables, and then again my salmon at nighttime. So 4 meals spread out, totaling, I think it was under 2,000 calories, and I had a nice big pot of jelly just to keep my sweet tooth at bay. Now, finding low calorie options in the shops these days is extremely easy. Low sugar, no sugar, and just have to prepare these things yourself. When I was in the shop the other day, when I was trying to find my jelly, you find these little jelly pots that came to like 80 or 100 calories, and then I found make your own like jelly sachets. A whole sachet was 5 times, if not 6 times the amount you'd get in one of those little pots, and it was only 60 calories. Okay, and I was like, oh my god, that's absolutely fantastic. So These things you do have to go out and look for yourself. Every country is going to be different. What did I have when I was at home? When I was at home, I had low-calorie popcorn, and I loved that so much more than the jelly I'm having out here, but I cannot find low-calorie popcorn in Australia. If you know where to get some, please hit me up and send me a link. I love popcorn so much, but popcorn's a fantastic example of low-calorie and high-calorie. You go and get a bag of pre-made popcorn, be anywhere between 800 and 1,000 calories for the bag, and we all know that we could sit there and eat a bag of popcorn in one sitting without thinking about it, whereas the low calorie popcorn is the same amount of size, but it's going to be 100 calories, 150 calories, if that. Absolutely fantastic low calorie food option. Again, with the intuitive eating, is making sure that you space your protein out regularly, especially if you are hitting the gym and hitting weights really hard. Now, you could just time these things yourself. Even if you think you're hungry and you want some food, you think, I only had protein an hour ago, 2 hours ago, then you can purposely wait another hour or 2 hours, however long it is, to make sure that you are hitting those protein goals spaced out. This helps a lot with hunger satiation as well. You realize, and then you find and then you use appetite suppressors as well to your advantage, like no sugar Coke or low sugar Powerade, different things like that. Yes, the chemicals are not the best, however they will help you fight off that hunger. But like I said at the beginning, fundamentally, you do not want to be dropping your calories too low too quickly. Otherwise, you will not be able to fight off these waves of hunger that you will be getting, not unless you have extremely good willpower and determination in order to smash your goals. And and people do it so often. I've done it. You drop your calories off a cliff because you want to lose that weight quickly, but then you have no energy for going for your walks, you've got no energy for hitting the gym, and then your muscle mass drops and you lose strength and you lose the energy to do anything, and then you have a great big binge because you're just so hungry. When you start eating, when you're in such a low deficit, you won't be able to stop. And a lot of bodybuilders face this after they come off of stage because they've gone through such a long period of dieting and they haven't enjoyed their diet, or they're so looking forward to coming off the other side of it that they just rebound so hard, and they'll gain 20-30 pounds in the space of like 5-7 days. And we don't want that as human beings. They don't want that. It can be extremely dangerous for your health. And fundamentally, the people I'm trying to reach are the general population, in terms of making sure we are as healthy as possible for as long as possible, the longevity of our lives. I think eating the same meals regularly will be extremely good as well. You know what you're going to eat. The shopping becomes simple. The meal prep becomes simple. You have so many meals in the fridge, bang, ready to go, out in the microwave, done, simple. That's another thing that's extremely important when we come to look at dieting and calorie counting, is massive food prep. If you prep for 3 or 4 or 5 days at a time, then you're going to be able to not have to worry about eating and cooking and being in the kitchen, being around the food. That's what I'm trying to get at, is the more time you spend around food, the more you will want that food. When I go shopping and I'm hungry, it's really hard for me to say no to a pack of biscuits, open it and eat it, walk around the shop. I try and make sure that I'm not hungry when I go shopping, for a prime example. But coming back to the beginning of this video, calorie counting, should you do it? Yes, 150%. If you've never counted your calories, 100% jump on those apps, find out what food looks like, find out your calories, find out what your maintenance is. Then you can work out very easily from that point how many calories you need to drop, how many calories you need to increase. Look at your daily intake, your total energy expenditure in one day. Okay, you want to try and find out how many calories you're burning. Like I say, you're not going to be burning the same amount of calories every single day, but they'll add up to a weekly average, and then week on week on week you will probably be burning very similar amounts of calories, and therefore you can use that information to your advantage. I have gotten so hyper fixed on day in, day out calories that I have worried about it too much in the past. Before I started all this business, before I knew what I was doing, I got so hyper fixated on the day in, the day out, weighing myself. I wanted that weight to be the exact same every single day, and it just isn't going to happen. You know, now I've dropped back to weigh myself once a week because I think it's a lot more beneficial to me mentally, and as well, like, I think it'll be good for you as well. Like, mentally, you will see a bigger change week to week than you will day to day, and then adding up at the end of the week and finding the median. Yes, you could do that. It's something that I've done, but it just, like I say, getting hyper fixated on the numbers isn't where you want to go. You know, you'll find yourself getting so frustrated with yourself, and you know, why won't this work, why won't that work, that you'll reduce loads of calories and to try and make it work, but actually it's just water fluctuation, or you know, something, it can be something so simple like that. So weighing yourself once a week at the same time on the same day, you know, making sure you're completely empty after the toilet before you've consumed any water, any food, that way you will be regular. Yeah, and then you can see the weight come down, or you can see the weight go up, whichever your goal is. But yes, for the general population out there, please do not get hyperfixated on numbers. They are extremely important for someone like me who has clients and are trying to do things for them, but they don't see those numbers day in, day out. I do, and then I can advise them what to do week to week based on those numbers. You know, unless you want to do that for yourself, in which case, cool, go for it, but just don't hyperfixate. You know, look at it week to week to week, look at it month to month. Like I've always said, you're not going to achieve your goals in the next 7 days. You're not going to achieve your goals probably in the next 7 weeks. So, you know, look at it at the next 7 months. Okay, that's the best way to do it. Look at it 7 months in advance, and that way you can plan different things for that long period of time. You know, you can plan it, right, I'm going to stay at maintenance for this month, see what my body does, you know, and then you might find that your weight pretty much stays the same or goes down very incrementally, but you're really happy, you're building loads of muscle, you've got loads of energy, in which case just stay like that. Okay, your body will normalize at some point, and you'll see the calories just come to a nice flat, I was to say peak, but peak is at the top, isn't it? No, the calories become flat, your body will become used to that, and that's when you take a reduction in calories, or you up your daily energy expenditure. You know, start doing multiple forms of cardio a week, start doing multiple forms of fasted cardio a week. There's so many different things that you can do in order to still achieve your goals while not hyperfixating on numbers. Okay, intuitive eating, obviously, you're not looking at any kind of numbers whatsoever. You're simply going off how you feel, making sure that you're eating nice low calorie meals and hitting your protein every single day. And if you're not calorie counting and knowing how to hit your protein, I have always gone by how my body reacts. What I mean by that is quite literally farting, burping, and secreting the excess protein. That way I know I'm eating way too much protein, or not enough protein. If you know anybody that goes to the gym and they've let off a protein fart, it will clear a room. It will clear a dance floor in seconds. It will clear a room within a matter of minutes. They are awful, and that's how you know you're having too much protein. Center your protein around your weights exercise, or around whatever exercise you are doing. Nice high volume protein before, nice high volume protein afterwards. The body will soak in all those nutrients and then use them for muscle repair, and then just space it out every 2 or 3 hours after that. Okay, you want a minimum of 20 grams of protein per meal if you're trying to build muscle. if you're not trying to build muscle, a minimum of 10 grams of protein and a maximum of, depending on your body weight, 30 or 40 grams. It really does depend. Unless you're just a beast like Chris Bumstead, in which case I think he has something like 50 or 60 grams of protein a meal. It's ridiculous. But yes, count your calories, find out what food looks like. Don't hyperfixate on numbers. But if you don't want to do any of that, obviously I am more than happy to do it for you. So please come and join the team, and I will hyperfixate on the numbers for you and get you in the best shape of you that you have ever been in. Other than that, I hope you took something away from this video, and I hope you have a fantastic day.